Some things just don't come to people naturally. Many people can't draw for their life, and others, they go through an endless struggle against calculus and might not ever win. For me, it's always been a struggle against myself. A complete lack of motivation has pervaded my existence for as long as I can remember. Sports, they were too tiresome, relationships were way too complicated, and any interests and hobbies I had would dry up as soon as the hard work came into the picture. Lately, even leisure activities are becoming difficult to continue, as the investment necessary, whether it be time or effort, isn't something I can afford any longer. Oddly enough, I've always been dedicated to my education, due to my ambition and passion for learning, but everything else always seems to make me struggle. This lethargic lifestyle is of course harmful to myself, but I just can't care to change it. I'm not gonna lie, there won't be a sudden life-changing realization for me regarding my motivation and how I instantly acted upon what I knew I should do. There won't be a redemption arc where I finally realize my wrongs, defeat my demons, and then have a grand final fight where I go head-to-head against the antagonist and take back the motivation that was rightfully mine. Growth is important to all life on Earth, and growth is gradual. Children don't spontaneously grow by 2 years once they master the alphabet, nor do teenagers truly become adults once they hit 18. Same as how I learned to speak as a child and eventually would be able to walk, motivation is slowly becoming less of a problem as my responsibilities become more and more numerous. Part of this increase in my motivation is due to a memory I recall fondly every so often. We drove home on a sticky summer night where the air was polluted with humidity far more than anyone is comfortable with. My father, he had been drinking like always, and like whenever he drinks, he became much more emotional than his self-control normally allowed. My mother went inside ahead of us while we retrieved the leftovers from the back seat. Suddenly, that was when my father pulled me into his embrace. I could smell the alcohol on his breath as he began his typical spiel about how I was destined for better things, how I couldn't possibly be his son, and his wonderment of where my intelligence came from. He always exclaimed it wasn't from him, a steelworker who was good with his hands but not much else. His eyes soon became teary, and he decided to speak a bit more of what was on his mind. While not disclosing what he specifically told me, I can summarize the gist of the message. Be someone great. And so that is what I will become. In the end, I'm not giving advice on what you should or should not do. We deem humans as individuals because that's what we are. We're different. And as humans, we'll grow. You may not notice it tomorrow, and you won't notice it the next month. The change is going to be so gradual, you won't notice it until you gaze into the past and wonder what you were even thinking at the time. As for now, I know what lies in my future, and what would make me the happiest, not you. For me, I want to be the guy standing behind the counter at your local pharmacy, counting those pills and giving people advice on how medicine can make their lives better. I have ambitions to reach a higher position and become even more successful, but that is a story for another time. While I refuse to say nothing is impossible, there's a reason the saying, "If there's a will, there's a way," is so popular and circulated. Your aspirations, they may show you the door, but it's your motivation and your effort that opens them. Maybe one day I'll walk through my own and be satisfied with what lies on the other side.